Hi parents, it's Mrs. Cotlis, and we went over a lot of stuff today in class. So I wanted to make sure that we got it on video for anyone that wasn't here or for kids where we might have been going a little bit faster and they didn't feel comfortable asking questions in class. So first things first, we are skipping lesson 23 and 24 and going straight to lesson 25, which is the formal essay. It's the 5-paragraph model. This is super important. So many classes your kids are going to be in, they're going to need to do this 5-paragraph model. So basically what we're doing is we're taking the night's essay that they already got back that had topic 1, topic 2, topic 3 about knights. Most of them did, I think, training for knights, duties of a knight, and the code of chivalry, but they got to pick the topics that they did. They're going to take that, they're going to make the edits that they got back from me, and then they need to add an introductory paragraph and a concluding paragraph. Now, if you look on page 171, there's going to be an example of that. Each introduction has to have certain required elements, and you'll see that on the final checklist on page 175. So, the introduction needs to have an attention grabber. If you haven't downloaded that student resource notebook that we keep telling you about from IEW, you should, because it's got tons of examples of what a dramatic opener looks like. It can be a question, it can be descriptive, it can be an exclamation, it can be all sorts of things. We did an example in class, and I'm attaching that to the bottom of this email. They can use that if they're having trouble. It needs to have subject and background info. In our case, it's knights, and they were the warriors of the Middle Ages. They need to have the topics mentioned, and they need to be labeled A, B, and C, just like you see in the example on page 171. They need to have any 4 dress-ups and 1 decoration and 2 openers. They get to pick what those are, and you can refer back to your checklist from the original Knights essay to see what is an option for a dress up, what's an option for a decoration, and what's an option for a sentence opener. If you go back and you look in the lessons that we skipped, you're going to see the options for the different openers. So we did the number 2 opener, which is a prepositional opener, which literally means that the sentence starts with a preposition. Now we're adding in number 3, which is an ly adverb opener. And we're adding in number 4, which is an ing opener. This is Ethan's. Hi, Ethan. There's Ethan.
Am I on YouTube? Am I?
You're gonna be.
I'm gonna be famous.
This is why we teach. Okay, so literally that means the sentence starts with one of those things. So if it's a prepositional opener, it could be like, among all the knights, Sir Lancelot was the greatest. For a ly opener, it could be, sadly, there aren't knights anymore. And for an ing opener, it could be something like, singing is my favorite activity. And so those are those sentence openers. And again, they get labeled on the left-hand side of the paper. Your dress-ups and your decorations get labeled on the right-hand side of the paper. As always, if you have questions or concerns, we are happy to have your rough draft and look over it and help you as long as you get it to us by Sunday. And since this is a new thing, doing this full introduction paragraph and this full conclusion paragraph as opposed to doing a sentence introduction and a sentence conclusion, feel free to reach out to me or Mrs. White and ask for help because we're happy to give it, okay? We went over again the Asia clauses, and hopefully all of your kids can tell you the funny things that they came up with. The important thing with an Asia clause is that there's a dependent clause and an independent clause. Thank you, Logan. And you can isolate the clause with the Asia word in it. So something like, while I was sleeping, the toast burned. So the toast burned would be your independent phrase that makes sense on its own, and while I was sleeping adds additional information, and it starts with one of those www.asia words. We also went over the number 2 openers again and talked about prepositions. And again, if you haven't downloaded that SRN, you need to do it because it's got that list of words. So your child can just open and see what the prepositions are if they don't have that memorized. If you want to torture them, which I do to my children, you can make them memorize the prepositions using one of the fabulous songs on YouTube. We like the one that goes to Santa Claus is Coming to Town, but you can pick any one you want. So those are the things that we went over today. It's a lot of information to pack into one class. I know that you guys have to answer a lot of questions at home, but in, the amount of class time that we have, getting everything in is an aggressive schedule, and a lot of the kids don't seem to be comfortable asking questions in front of their peers. So if they have questions, encourage them to email or text or ask you or ask a friend or whatever they need to do. But we want them to be successful, and so hopefully between the videos and the emails and class time, they're going to be able to get it down. All right, thanks so much and have a great week.